It's time to do a little live streaming up on the Baitman channel. I've got me some more of that NA, and this stuff is good. I've drank a lot of it today. So let me get the chat opened up here and whatnot. Make sure you guys are joining in. Been waiting all day. Smash that like button for me. So we're gonna kind of get back into what I left off last night, and please let me know about the audio. I've been trying to mess around with this thing. Let's see if I can get it right. Mute that. But we're going to get into where I left off last night, which, whoa, I was talking about these guys right here, the old jackhammer in the trailers, and a lot of guys were asking about suggestions for trailer and whatnot. So I got a box of stuff that I feel is really good, and yeah, we're going to go over that. I don't know if we'll break any streaming records tonight. Don't really care. Again, we're bored. So we stream, and we're going to try to get some people to learn some things. So let me know if that audio is good. What's up, Fat Guy Basson and Scott Henson? Appreciate you guys joining. So just to let you know, Saturday, deep cranking. It's going to be pretty legendary. I might have got my fishing partner to come in. He's the best deep cranker I've been around. What's up, Brian Somerville? What's up, Kyle Norris? Hope you guys aren't missing in, but going to do that giveaway tomorrow night. I know Smallmouth Crush and other people are streaming, but I'm going to do the giveaway. I'm not sure I'll stream tomorrow night. Just depends. So, what's up, Old Toe? Thank you for that margarita money last night, man. I really appreciate it. So, PB Dad, you're in here. I got a freaking kayak guy blowing me up again. Let's try to get 1,000. Maybe we get 1,000 DMs in the kayak guy. All right, let me take care of this huge chaw I got in because I don't feel like spitting on that, and that's kind of gross. So, you know, since you guys say you just like to hear me talk sometimes, I'm going to do a little talking real quick. First off, shout out to Defuse Custom Painting and Body Shop. If you ever wreck your shit around Kentucky Lake, take it to him. He is the best in the country. What's up, Masturbator? I like that. What's up, Darius? So, take a ride to Defuse. Not only is he a good guy, he fishes with me, and when you walk into the shop, you'll actually see me holding a bunch of big bass with him that I've actually caught. My audio's really low. All right, let's try to fix this. Is that better? Or is that better? Let's see if we can fix that audio. Let's see if we can fix this up. Speaker, headphones. Gotta get it more. All right. What about now? Is that better? See if that's better. Well, I actually watched the replay last night. This morning with Bait Jr., he wanted to watch it, and it was really low. So, echo. All right, we'll take the echo off. Let's see if we can get some settings in here. How about now? Is that better? Let's see if that's better. Testing 1, 2. I hate starting out off a show and the audio is rough. So some guys say it's good, some guys say it's better. We'll just roll with that right there. A lot of it's me. I don't talk into the mic, so. The first switch on my mic helped. No margas? Yeah, man. We got some NA margas in here, baby. So let me update you on Kayak Guy. So I'm in this group, Kayak Bass Nation. Great group. What's up, Dave Thomas? Hey, come back when you want, man. Door's always open here. All right, let's try this. For some reason, your solo live is always quiet, but on my TV, when you join in, someone's great. I have no idea. All right. See if that's better. We'll try that. I don't know. One of these settings, it really blows out the audio. So long story short, kayak guy, and I didn't even know it was kayak guy, made a post, Kayak Bass Nation. And this is a good question, okay? This is a good question. He said, is it me or do trocar hooks not seem sharp enough? Well, a lot of guys, they don't understand the difference between a cutting point and needle point. So, you're right, Brian Crawford. You're right. So I did the right thing, and I explained that. Listen, the difference is a cutting point versus needle point. You know, trocar are sharp hooks, but they are a cutting point. So you're going to get easier penetration on a cutting point. Say this is the top of a bass's mouth. Okay, cutting point goes in, and it cuts a hole in there. So you're going to get hook penetration, but it's not going to be, you know, solid. Needle point goes in like this, and it keeps on pushing in. The cutting point cuts. Doesn't matter if the hook's really sharp or not, it's just how that point's designed. So I'll let that guy, no problem. And then he decides to tell me, finally some useful info from someone that trolled me and gave me crap on my last post. This is a good point. And I just put let it breathe. And when I say let it breathe, that means, hey man, let bygones be bygones. It's cool. And then his response to that was, whatever that means, I should have known you couldn't laugh it up. Once a prick, you're always a prick. So I just threw the Jeremy Pruitt on him and said, I will not be getting a UK hat. That's not going to happen. Now, I wouldn't mind rocking a Louisville hat. I have nothing against Louisville, but the main thing we want to talk about tonight, we want to talk about these guys right here, Chatterbait Trailers, and we're going to talk about some of these trailers are great on the back of a swimmy jig. Like, for example, this is a Dirty Jig Swim Jig. That's the warmouth color, and that I've got it rigged on a spicy beaver, and this thing has incredible kicking action. If you don't have any spicy beavers, I really suggest you buy them. They are very versatile, great on a football jig. But you see, they're kind of like the Rage Menace. They got a little flange right there. Great flipping bait. Now, if I want to put that on a football jig, I'll just turn it around. But I've got it rigged, you know, horizontal instead of vertical. So Spicy Beaver is definitely a good one. And I kind of like to match my trailers to my skirts. So I forgot the name of this color. It's not Coosa Special. Golly, what is it? But it matches this bluegill, this warmouth, very, very well. I would like these really kicking style trailers when I'm fishing a swim jig really fast, especially like over the tops of grass. I'm actually looking for a really good reaction bite with this. Floribama. Thank you, Robert Linson. Thank you. So many colors from Reaction Innovations. I seem to only remember ones like Donkey Punch and Hematoma and stuff like that. I will tell you a good Taylor. 13 Fishing the Jerk. A trailer. Okay. Huh. I've never tried that. A lot of guys were asking last night about the 13 Fishing Soft Plastics. I personally don't have any. Some of them look cool. Some of them, I think they try to do way too much. But, you know, for me, and the one I use a lot, we'll start with Chatterbaits. And I'm not going to get into too many different brands of Chatterbaits. But, you know, the Jackhammer, that's the one. I mean, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi of bladed jigs. That's what everybody goes to. I'm not saying it's the best one ever, but I am saying it's the best one ever. And I always start with just something slim like this. This is the Yamamoto Zako. And for the most part, I want my trailer to match the skirt. So the Zako, what's really cool about this, so it's segmented. And I remember when these first come out, guys were like, man, I got some Zakos and it ain't got no action. I'm really disappointed. Well, it's not supposed to have a lot of action. It's supposed to just sit there and shimmer. But the thing about it is when a bass comes up from behind and he eats this Zako, you see how that folds real easy? It folds, and then he gets the hook. So a lot of your bulkier, bigger trailers are nice, but they don't fold up near as easy. So this one's just, it makes your chatterbait have a really nice, bait fish profile. It's very similar to Lake Fort Chris. It's not near as bulky, and that's a good trailer. Matter of fact, Brett Hite started using his first bladed jig was not a jackhammer. It was actually the Phoenix vibrator jig. So, chatter chicken soup. We're gonna try, and you can tell this one's been thrown a ton. It's the head on it's been rubbed down. The bottom of the head's got places on it. And that's because this blade, man, it freaking thumps. But this is a 3/8. This is actually the same one I used last summer with Jake Lawrence, and I continue to use it. It freaking catches. But I use 3/8 in shallow water, and when I'm in that shallow water, I want a real slender profile. I'm trying to imitate a bait fish, flin, stuff like that. As I get into deeper water, I want to bulk up, and I want something that has a little bit more thump. So. Let's see. I've been using tore up cutter worms in the back of my chatterbaits. Yes, that's a great idea. Great idea. Awesome bait on catfish. Dude, jackhammer can jack some catfish. So my rod setup, I throw 3 different rods. When the bite's really finicky, I want a rod that's got a lot of forgiveness. And I use a cheap rod. I use it's a sticks called the hybrid stick. It's got a lot of parabolic action. It's not going to handle a lot of baits over half an ounce, but it's very sensitive, and I love how it loads up really well. Once those fish get more aggressive, I need some more backbone. I use that dial with Tatula Elite. It's a 7/4 bladed jig, big topwater rod. If I'm not putting a rattle trap on that rod, I will throw the jackhammer. Thanks, St. Chris. I appreciate it, man. So. Again, this isn't going to be a stream of what's the best bladed jig. I know see people already commenting different ones. I'm talking about trailers tonight, so all this will be kind of universal. But for me, the go-to Zako green pumpkin is a good one, and if you got that fire crawl, you can go with this one right here. This is the green pumpkin orange, and I've actually used this on the Heights hot crawl. But I'll show you some different trailers on it later. But that's the cool thing about Zako. They basically designed with Brett Hite this trailer for here. I don't use the paddle tail one very often. Some guys like them. And then, where's my other color? Where's my other color, Zako? Where you at? Where you at in here? Maybe I don't have you in here. Well, I thought I put you in here. My other favorite color is called laminate, and it's green pumpkin and black and blue. And I have lost a whole freaking bag of them, of course. Six-inch Yamamoto big grub, good. Yes, I use this. I don't use the reaction rod, Ken. I like the utility rod. I like that reaction rod. It's a pretty good trap rod and small and square bill rod. I've heard some good things about the Arizona custom baits, so yes, I did see Mikey Balls that. So that's what's cool about a chatterbait. I'm going to show you a lot of different trailers and stuff, but I want you to go experiment. God dang, where is that freaking? I would lose my freaking head if I didn't have it, but. The cool thing about the Zako, if you throw that Hot Delight, they got a green pumpkin chartreuse. I really like the black and blue and the green pumpkin because I can throw that about on anything. So after the Zako, I'll go back to Spicy Beaver. And so if I got me a let's see what I got in here. See if I got a color to match this. So what's cool about the Spicy Beaver in that color I'm talking about, let's say I'm out of Zakos, man. I need some green pumpkins. I've got my spicy beaver here in tramp stamp. And so another way to make this thing just have another really a bulkier profile is put something like this on here. And now I'm going to rig it sideways again. And so now I have that spicy beaver on the back of that chatterbait, and as the water comes across or below this, it's really going to make these undulate and kind of give a swimming action. But you notice it makes this bait look a whole lot bigger. So I got this one on my left. It's got more of a bait fish profile. This is going to be a little bit bigger and give it more of like a big crawfish or even a bigger bait fish. Again, and then the black and blue on this gives it even better dark profile, especially in muddy water. The prawn's a great bait. It doesn't really have enough action for me as a chatterbait trailer. The spicy beaver is designed to have a lot of flap and a lot of movement, whereas a prawn, it's more of a soft plastic that glides. All right, somebody just mentioned the swimming dinger. So, and what's cool about these is these are amazing SwimJig trailers as well. So, what's up, Clark? Just got off the lake. I wish I had. I've been dealing with my daggum kids all day. Let's see. What's up, Thomas? Glad you joined in here. Make sure you guys smash the like button. I was going through my YouTube analytics today, and 68% of the people watching the videos don't hit the like button, nor are they subscribed to the channel. So if you're new in here, if you're watching, you're not in the chat, that's okay. Smash that like button for me, and also subscribe to the channel, because I'm just going to be really honest with you guys. Next week, I'm not going to be able to stream very much. So it may be down to 1, maybe 2 nights a week on a streaming. So Chad Zone, the fire crawl, I'll pretty much use that in the spring, but there are a lot of guys that catch bass on red crankbaits all year round. But to me, that's more of a spring kind of deal. I transition to green pumpkin and even a chartreuse or a white color. You got the shad spawn coming up, so I'm going to get into something either very bluegill or shad looking. So yes, donkey punch the like button. That's true, Sycamore Outdoors. And you can always log in on a phone afterwards. Dude, wattle bait, that's crazy. So let's kick it a little old school here. Where is my swimming Cinco? Hot dang. So here's a trailer that I just got that's very much in the mold of, this is from Grande Bass. This is their, it's called the 5-inch swing tail, and it's color called Ballistic Bluegill. So this is that sprayed grass or whatnot jackhammer. It's got a gold blade on it. But first thing I would do on this one, because this is a really big trailer, I'm actually going to cut the head off if I'm going to use the trailer. So I've cut about 1/4 inch of that off. And then I'm just going to, it's good and meaty here. You see that it's real solid. And just thread it up. And now, very similar to the Zako. I might have cut too much. It's got this little hinge joint in here. And it's kind of like a half-cut fluke. But this is a nasty looking trailer. So now I got me a little gill going right here. That's a really good looking with that sprayed grass. Got a little orange belly on it. I don't know if the bass pay attention or even care. But that's pretty nasty right there. And that's from Grande Bass. Very free swinging. Doesn't have a paddle tail on it. It's going to have a really tight shimmy in the water. A lot of guys think these are things that are going to go way back and forth. Because of the vibration on a jackhammer or chatterbait, you're really looking for this stuff to be really tight and natural. So when you put something like, and this works, when you put a rage swimmer on the back, this is a thunder cricket. The thunder cricket vibrates faster than a jackhammer. It just does not vibrate as hard. is you put a rage swimmer on the back. For the most part, this is actually causing some drag and will actually slow your bait down just a little bit, which is good. So if you're fishing real shallow stuff, over the tops of grass and stuff like that, and you don't want your bait to sink that much, you can go with, you know, a Kitech back here, rage swimmer, whatever, other than the Guggen Saucy swimmer. You can put them in the trash. This actually bulk up your bait but slow it down so it doesn't go as fast. Skinny Dipper's a really good one. So, yes, so Tyler, I was going to talk about it. I was going to find one I can take the skirt off and just show you guys that that's a trick. Let me see if I can find so here's one I tried to make. This is a chatterbait that I put a skirt on, a Strike King skirt. I probably won't be able to put a skirt back on this one. But anyway, so this is just a regular Z-Man. I believe this is the Chatterbait Elite. It's got the long hook in it. This is a pretty good one for the money. What a lot of guys do, and I've seen guys do this numerous times, and it freaking catches. Take you a fluke. You know, a lot of guys put a scrounger on a fluke. This is one of my favorite colors. I really hate to tear this guy up. But this is Lavender Shad. I'll go easy on them. They drink Coors Light, so I'm not really worried about them. So I'm going to take me a fluke. I'm going to run it up there. A lot of guys do this for red fishing, man. But you want to give the bass something different. You know, put your fluke on here, Jerky J, whatever you want. But that thing is just going to vibrate, and that little it's not going to go that fast, but that little tail is just going to wiggle. It's going to have a little ripple in it, and it's going to look like a fleeing bait fish, man. This thing right here is nasty. A lot of guys throw a Jerky J on a big 1 ounce one out deep here, and they catch a lot of fish on it. But even for shallow water, kind of think of shad spawn in between swim bait and a spinnerbait. This right here can get you a lot of bites, and they're not seeing this a whole lot. So, but just putting a fluke on there, man, that's sick. So, Guggen baits are good when Strike King is sold out. Well, you know what, Old Toad, if you got to get something, you got to get something. You know what I mean? I've been there. I bought stuff I didn't want to buy before because whatever I wanted was sold out. And we got to fish, man. We got to catch our fish. So, yeah. So, one thing I look for in a trailer, I like them to skip. And speaking of, we'll show you something pretty cool here. All right. So, here's a couple more trailers. I've gone over these. So, that's a Hog Farmer spunk shad there on this big 1.25 ounce jackhammer. I mean, this is huge. I bought this exclusively to fish deep. And then I've got this Callan's Magombo grub on here. And unfortunately, the guy that invented this Magombo grub, he passed away. But what you can also do is put a giant Jerky J. I got 7s. I don't recommend putting the 7s on there. But you can take something like this right here. This is the Scottsboro Sniper Shad. Let me get one whose tail ain't so beat up. And I'm going to leave the skirt on, believe it or not. Here we go. Here's one even better. This is an old D&M Piranha, man. They don't even make these like this anymore. Believe it or not, a freaking grub is an amazing chatterbait trailer. If you're hurting, find you some grubs. I want to fish this rig out deep. This is a 1 ounce D&M Piranha. This is the Scottsboro Sniper Shad. You can use a Jerky J, whatever you want to. I'm just going to thread this thing up here. And now, you don't have to worry about the eyeballs in this thing. Now I have a really big bait. I mean, this is, if I want to fish ledges and fish deep, I'm going to have the action of this chatterbait. And this thing in the water has got a huge, it makes it roll. So I'm going to get some roll and some wiggle with this. I'm not going out there fishing for 5 dinks with this. I'm trying to catch one great big one. So, and it's something they don't see, but it works. That sniper shad is really, really good. Yeah, dude. I watched a little bit of Smallmouth Crush last night when Travis said he was going to take over New York. It was funny. Thanks, Justin Clark. I appreciate it, man. But when I'm going to throw this is definitely post spawn, shad spawn kind of deal. No, don't have to trim a skirt when I've got a trailer this long. You will have some fish hit this and miss it. I'm just going to be honest with you. But this is kind of a little Kentucky Lake deal. A lot of guys use the Picasso shock blade because it's got an even bigger blade, moving a lot of water. This is really cool. So, you know, I've got a spunk shad over here, and then right here I've got the STC sniper shad. One's a jackhammer, one's the D&M. These D&Ms are hard to get. So, what's cool about that spunk shad is it's not made just for deep water. Check it out. Scott even makes a green pumpkin one. So if I want to take the spunk shad by itself, you can take that spunk shad by itself, and you can put it on your own bladed jig just like that, almost like a fluke. Look at that. Doesn't look like much, but dude, this thing has amazing action in the water. Definitely a great shallow water bait in the green pumpkin, so you can throw it in some dirty water. The cool thing about green pumpkins, you can throw it any color you want to. I don't know if it's kind of funny when you're out bow fishing at night. When you look down on fish, they always look dark on top. So, or you can take the old spunk shad, and he makes several different sizes. Maybe I want to throw it back on. I just want to go green pumpkin as green pumpkin gets. Let's put that spunk shad on the back of that. Now, I actually like that he makes a smaller one that I like a little bit better than that real long one. I like the long one on my big ones. But what's cool is, you know, okay, that's too long, and maybe I need to trim it up a little bit. I'll just take my old scissor rooskies, and I think that'll look good. Let's take about that much off. And then, oops, wrong one. Then on my jackhammer, I just put that up there. Now I'm right. Now I got the right size. Look at that. I made a real slender profile of that jackhammer with that Hog Farmer spunk shad. These are really good. These spunk shads, I throw them on spinnerbaits. I throw them on a hog wobbler by itself. So that's a chatterbait. We'll talk about that in a minute. Guys throw them on Ned rigs. Really nice slender profile. Alright, we're going to reuse a lot of jackhammers tonight, I can tell you that. So here's one, and I talked about it before. Let's talk about paddle tails on the back. North Star Custom Baits. I have not. I know Matt Ellis very well. He's a good dude. Go Vols. Matt's got great insider stuff. Reps Death added works too. I didn't understand it. What's the difference in chatterbait action with the paddle tail compared to spunk shad? Good question, Joe. So, all right, this is the 6th Sense Divine Swimbait, and I've got it in this. This is Height's Hot Crawl. One thing on this, see the tail is pretty small. You actually get a pretty good vibration and swimming action on this thing right here. The spunk shad, it's going to be really, I mean, it just vibrates. It wiggles. It vibrates. Whereas something like this, or even a Kitech, it's kind of going to swing. But the Divine Swimbait is stiff. Whereas the Kitech's so soft, it just kind of swings back there. Whereas the Divine is a little stiffer, and it actually sit there and has a little bit tighter vibration. It's not quite wide and crazy. It's just a nice tight vibration. On a swim jig, holy smokes, the Divine is amazing. I'll be honest, I think the swimming action on the Divine, I'm not just saying this, is better than a Kitech. It actually makes your swim jig really roll. It's nasty. Depths Death Adder. I'll have to look at that, Tim. But yeah, you can also cut a paddle tail, make it flush, kind of like a fluke or zako. I think I've got something already cut up like that in here. Or did, yeah. Like Tactical Bass, and they talk about cutting it and flipping it over, and you kind of make your own like spunk shad deal. Whereas me, I just buy spunk shad. Check this out. So you got green pumpkin, dude. Scott's got you covered over at Hog Farmer. If you're a black and blue guy. So this is a Project Z. I like the Project Z pretty well too. It's got a big hook in it. I like this black and blue, man. Dirty water, Kentucky Lake, Florida. Gotta have your blacks and blues. And I'm probably gonna trim this one up just a little bit. Wife's home, I might be in trouble, guys. Put that black and blue on this Project Z. Dog's going crazy. Dude. Spunk shad looking nasty on that thing right there. Muddy water, dark nasty water. If you're, dude, I can tell you, black and blue is hard to beat about anywhere. Just got a great profile, but the spunk shad, that's the deal. I'm gonna have to get some kind of underwater video of this for you guys. So, golly, I got chatterbaits everywhere. But yeah, this D&M with this Magombo grub. I don't catch many on it, but when I do, when I catch one on this, it's culling something. This Magombo grub has an amazing action in the water. It's just got that perfect pulse, and it makes that skirt flare because it's so big. Dude, Scott will take care of you. He is an awesome dude. So let's go to swim jigs real quick. We'll just go over what I got for trailers. I want to show you a very underrated swim jig trailer. Let me get me a big old swim jig here. So this is the Divine Swim Jig. This is the grass one actually. It's got a little bit even heavier duty hook, man. This thing is not bending. What was the polka dot bait? I guess, that is a polka dot bait. I don't know if I had a polka dot bait. If you're talking about this stuff right here, that's a D&M Piranha. They don't make them anymore. I had a bunch and somehow I only have two left. So anyway, here's a very underrated trailer. Buzzbait only live stream, we can do it. I have to have Eric. Dude, if you want a swim jig, you're just fishing over the tops of grass and maybe lily pads and stuff like that, and you really want to be high up in the water column, get you one of these. Take you a horny toad. You're going to have to cut the top of it off just a little bit. Going to take about that much there. Take your Zoom horny toad. Thread it up on here. You can white, whatever color you want to use. And then cool with the 6th Sense, man. I love that you just screw these trailers on with swim jigs. See how I'm just twisting it? Now turn the butt end around. Twist, twist, twist. Fish are not going to pull this off at all. But now I have a really bulky, big bulky swim jig. But because that plastic is so bulky with that horny toad, man, this thing right here, it will come over the top of cover amazing. If you want that visual bite, almost like a topwater bite, dude, try the horny toad on your swim jig. Never thrown it on a chatterbait. I think it would kind of be a little rough on a chatterbait. But it's so flat back here, dude, you can skip this way back in the cover. These jigs skip well, but see how it makes it nice and even flat? That's what you want in a skipping jig, and it will skip really, really well. But man, around lily pads, over tops of grass that's topped out with just inches of water, that's the deal right there. So PB crappie, man, my PB crappie ain't very big. I actually caught my PB crappie on a big spinnerbait. Net bait kicking bee and mini kicking bee are really good. What's cool about these, you know, you got the ultra vibe legs on that horny toad, and these just cause so much vibration and kicking action, and it's very similar on the net bait kicking bee or whatnot. So now this is probably one of my favorite ways to put on favorite things to put on a swim jig. Is this guy right here. Is the menace grub. A lot of guys in the chat really like the menace grub. I like it too. Again, let me find me a swim jig here. I'm just going to pick out whatever one I pick out, you know, whatever brand. I think this is actually a greenfish tackle swim jig. Pretty nice. But you gotta look at these. You gotta look at your trailer compared to your swim jig. I'm gonna have to cut that trailer down just a little bit, because I don't want a trailer that sticks this far up. Swim jigs are a little different. My chatterbaits, I really don't like my trailer really long. This has got a good little light wire hook in it. Now on the menace grub, I'll take it again, rig it vertically. This is a nice little finesse jig setup right here. This is a greenfish tackle chibi swim jig and that menace grub. You'll notice compared to like the 6 cents, it's a lot bigger profile. Whereas the 6 cents is a pretty big profile, especially when you put the horny toad on there. This is more finesse. White sucks on these things too, by the way. So, is there a difference between the menace grub and spicy beaver? The action's the same, but you get more of it in a spicy beaver, where you're moving more water with a spicy beaver. So now let's see what we got here. So somebody mentioned this guy in the chat. This is a really good swim jig chatterbait trailer right here. That is the Zoom Z-Craw Black Sapphire. So if you got any black and blue swim jigs, which I might have one or two in here, I don't know. Yeah, I got one. I think I got two. Oh, dude, look, I found it. If you got your little black and blue swim jig, this is a little black and blue with some orange. This is a 6 cents. That's one thing I like is a lot of these. You can take that Z-Craw. I cut it down just a little bit. I don't want them too long, because I don't want those bass nipping at it. Take that Z-Craw. Put it in here. This is one of my favorite flipping baits too. Z-Craw is a nasty flipping bait, but it's very versatile. Again, you got to screw them on with that 6 cents Divine Swim Jig. I got plastic going everywhere. Whoa now. Whoa now. Get this thing on. That's cool about the Z-Craw is it doesn't take much. As far as the plastic's very flexible, so you don't have to worry about. Yeah, check that out. Oh, black sapphire Z-Craw. That's a nasty looking swim jig. You know what's funny about swim jig fishing? It's like the nastier they are that aren't white, you catch. But these are just my favorites. You guys can experiment and whatever you want to do, man. And again, you can take that Z-Craw if you want to put it on the back of a chatterbait. I like rigging them sideways. It's going to be really, really bulky. Now I have a Z-Craw on the back of that Project Z, man. That looks good. Total different action. You're going to have a lot more flapping action with stuff like this than you are like a straight tail like that. Somebody can tell me what kind of swim jig is this? I've had this forever. It looks like maybe it's a Bravarni or Lethal Weapon. Very short skirt. Small hook. Hella bass, I'm talking to you. And it's got a screw lock on there. I don't know who makes that. I just like silicone skirts, big red bass. I don't really think it matters. Some guys would tell you rubber does, square. To be honest with you, I don't think a bass really gives a shit. As long as you get in front of their face. I do think living rubber may be a little bit better in the winter, but it does look good. I don't know who makes this. Secret Weapon or Bravarni. Man, it looks really good. It's very similar to Odom's, if Odom's made a swim jig. California swim jig. I don't throw. Here's the deal here. When if I want to throw a 3/4 ounce swim bait, I'm probably going to throw a 3/4 ounce swim bait instead of a jig. It could be a dim jig. That's a good one, Dustin. I'm not a big fan of the easy skirts either. Show me your top 5 baits if you could only have 5 to use from now on. That would take me like 2 hours to figure that out. Yeah, so dirty water, I like a bulkier, darker bait. Something that has a lot of action in it because you want to move a lot of water. Whereas a clear water, I want something very slim profile, white to clearish color, and I want to be able to reel it really fast. Thanks, Brittany. I really appreciate that comment. That's awesome. I just want you guys to catch fish. And I want you guys to teach me something. You don't know how many times I read in the chat and someone says, hey, put a pit boss on your chatterbait. Okay, I'll go try it. It may work. All right, so there's the swim jig deal. I'll be honest, Darian is Fishing did a really good video on it. But me, I mix it up. I'm not quite a pumper. You know, I'm always jacking the jig around and pumping it. And sometimes I swim it. Do I sell my t-shirts? Yes, man. In the link to the description of my video, there's a link to my Spreadshot store where I sell the Jaint shirts. I sell the Bait Hub shirts. And we're going to get something else. You guys help me out. Yeah, 2 pumps. I'm done. But really, the first time I saw a guy swim a jig, I edited a TV show with Gerald Swindle. He was throwing a damn Arky jig and a double tail grub, just like this right here. This is a very underrated swim jig trailer. This is just a Yamamoto grub. Let's find me a green pumpkin swim jig. That might be hard. Oh, alright, we'll just grab this. This is a green fish tackle swim jig. This is a chibi. And really, all Gerald was doing, he had him a double tail grub on here. Dude, this is gonna look good. I'm thinking I'm gonna like this. I love how see how that butts up to that skirt? I love that. Might trim my skirt a little bit. Oh man, Clearwater Bluegill killer right here. I love that skirt. It's very close to that bluegill candy from 6 cents I've been using. But all Gerald would do was throw this thing right here, and he would just pump that rod. Just pump it. Just keep going as fast as he could. Just the Alabama shake. And those fish would just come roll on it. It was awesome. Now, guys on the West Coast and a lot of guys in the Midwest, they throw it out and they just reel. And then maybe they'll pause, reel, pause. I personally try to figure out what they want. If I'm in a lot of shallow cover, a lot of bushes, mustard flowers, I'm pumping it. I want to see that bite. If I'm fishing bank or maybe just lay downs, stuff like that, I just throw it out there and just swim it easy back. You know, 7 to 1 reel allows you to slow down or speed up. A lot of guys throw it on an 8 to 1. I like a 7. Be honest, I can do it pretty well with a 6. The thing about a 6 is you can shake this swim jig and it's not moving too far. So any kind of grub. This is just a Yamamoto, a missile, turbo, rage grub, whatever. I like that chibi jig though. I'm gonna have to play with this guy some more. I love, see that tie? That's from Greenfish Tackle. I really love that. So somebody won a bunch of those. I did a Greenfish giveaway. See what else I got for trailers in here. After I get done with this, we'll just talk and blast people and do whatever we want to. I don't know how many people are in here. Uh-oh, Dylan Hayes mentioned me in a comment. Shit, I might be in trouble now. Does anyone? I love the Dirty Jigs Finesse Swim Jig. We coming, Gary. We coming. Let me find my Dirty Jigs Finesse Swim Jig. Alright. So here's a Dirty Jigs Finesse Swim Jig right here. You will notice very light strands. It's not very thick, really light wire hook. And then this is the normal Dirty Jigs Swim Jig. This is Tactical Shad. Really good one. But if I'm doing a little finesse swim jig like this, I'm going to use a small trailer. I can't use that because I don't have the right color. But like this finesse one, this is a Kitech 3.8. Love the Kitechs on swim jig, man. This is really good. Dirty Jigs Finesse. It's going to be about right. Just take me a little Kitech. Shit, I'm going to have a mess over here. I always trim the head off my Kitechs before I put them in a jig, so it meets up really well. And then I just put the Kitech in. And right over that little wig guard. Some people glue them. I don't. But see, once you cut the head off that 3.8, it's really about the perfect size. And you can trim this skirt if you want to. But man, that's a killer. That finesse swim jig with that small Kitech, really, really good. And that color is Ghost Rainbow, which is almost a clear. I really like that on the Dirty Jigs Finesse swim jig. Now, where's my big one? If I'm going to the big one, I'll step up. I'll go to like the Kitech 425, maybe even bigger. If I got one here. That's a 4.8. It's a 4.8. Where's my other swim baits? I got some more swim baits. The bigger swim jigs, I go with a little bit bigger trailer. You can even use something like, God, do I have any small ones? I don't. Yeah, I do. Where's my 4-inch Scottsboros? Those are badass. I'm knocking stuff down. Hold on, guys. Now we're cooking with some gas. This is the little bitty Scottsboro. This is like a 3-inch. I should have a 3.5. Here we are. Yes, this is what I'm looking for right here. So this is the 3.5-inch Scottsboro tackle swim bait. This thing right here on a bigger swim jig. The bait shop is busting at the seams. This is kind of a Buddy Gross deal. He throws this a lot. Check that out. Dude, that's freaking nasty. That color swim bait's called a Viper Shad, and that goes really well with that. So you're going to get a lot of action, a lot of swim bait style action. It's going to rock and roll right there. Dude, Scottsboro on that. That's a tournament proven deal. Buddy Gross has won a lot of money on that combination right there. Definitely, look how big that profile is. That's big. And then what I've been throwing around home, and I'm not saying I've been catching much. Where's the exact? That's the exact jig I've been using too. I've been throwing this 6-cent swim jig right here. This is, I don't know if y'all can tell, but that's a blue shad. Where's my whites? I'm telling you, the freaking Divine is awesome. So I take my Divine Swimbait, and I'm going to rig it up because I'm probably going to try to go fish with it tomorrow. That Divine Swimbait. And I don't cut much off. I just, see where it's got this little hook slot here? Got the little hook slot. I just cut just in front of it. And I'm sorry I'm not paying attention to the chat either. I'm rigging the baits, guys. I'm rigging this one to fish with. So my boy Justin Royal caught him like an 11-pounder on this thing or something. And what I love about the Divine Swimbait is it's so solid. Like, they don't tear it up. And I've gotten to where I can do this pretty quick, too. Oh, yeah. Nice, neat. So now, that Divine, oh, man. It's in that, the bigger size, the 4.4, that's the perfect size for a swim jig, especially if you cut that first 1/4 inch off. Now, it doesn't have the bulk of a profile. I mean, this is obviously a fatter profile. I'm really trying to imitate a small shad with this as the one with the horny toad. It's bigger than our Finesse swim jig. And then, you know, again, we've got this guy right here with the Scottsboro on it. Obviously, this is the biggest profile swim jig. And that's the Dirty Jig swim jig. If you could, to be honest with you guys, Dirty Jig swim jig, 6-cent swim jig, 1A, 1B. They're the best out there. Now, I do like that Greenfish tackle. I really like their swim jig. The guys up north, they really like the Bravarni, the Lethal Weapon. And I think that's just a difference in where we fish. And I'm not an excellent swim jig fisherman. Like Hellabass can spank my ass with a swim jig. But I'm just going over what has worked for me. I really don't have a lot of crazy trailers. But I will tell you, if you can't find any of this stuff, just go get you a dadgum pack of crawl and put on the back of a swim jig. They freaking work. That's the pack of Slim. And they're awesome on a chatterbait. Go to Walmart. You can buy a pack of Slims at Walmart. If you can't find any crazy stuff, and put those on a swim jig. I don't know. I got to start putting stuff up. I've got a freaking mess. I don't throw a baby brush hog on a swim jig, lunkers, but I know some people that put a small game hog on the back of a thunder cricket. Not your Walmart. Holy cow. Dude, my Walmart has good stuff. Like, there's been times I could have just shopped at Walmart and done all right. All right, y'all let me get this stuff back in here. We'll start taking some Q&A. Well, we got about 80 people watching this thing. I might have to go take me a break. This is the hardest part of the night. It's the hardest part of the night, getting this stuff back together. You know what? I might just leave that on there. I don't know. 2:46. Holy smokes. On a Wednesday night. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Someone said break 1,200. I don't think we're going to break 1,200. That's okay. We'll break it Saturday night. before Darren is fishing Brand Saturday Night Live, and I can't use it anymore, even though I've been using it for like 3 years. Dude, that live shad color is good, man. I like it. I'll try to get some video of that in my pool. So, guys, I appreciate it if you smash the like button. If not, I don't care. I'm still going to stream. Give me just a minute. Think of some good questions for me. And let me get some of this stuff organized so I can think. Yes, so Mother's Day is Sunday, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I love my mama, and I love my wife. Do something good for your wife. If you got kids, make sure you do something good for your wife. Make sure you do something good for your mama. I don't care if you can't buy them anything. Just call them, text them. And if you have lost your mom or you're without your mom, T's and P's to you, thoughts and prayers. And you know, do what you need to do. Alright, some of these I may just put in the dadgum box. I was going to make a SwimJig box anyway, so I may just put some of these SwimJigs in here, this other box. God, that freaking jackhammer's nasty with that spunk shad. So, Royal said he's down. I got to let Justin Royal know I win. Couldn't do it this week, but I think maybe next week. But I've got, I got to go back to work. I wish I could just make enough money off YouTube. I didn't have to work, but I like to work. I like to make money. So, there lies our issue. God, I'm never getting this stuff back. How did I end up getting this many jackhammers? What is my problem? I didn't know I had that many, to be honest with you guys. Eventually I'll get her cleaned up. I'm just going to throw it in boxes and I'll get back to it whenever I can. I just want it all out of in front of me. I need to make a Kitech order. I don't have a lot of Kitechs because I've been throwing these guys right here. So, hey, we're still running the promotion. If you order anything off 6 Cents website, use my code Baitman. You get 10% off. I'm going to draw for a Baitman Super 6 sack Friday night. If you use the code, send me a screenshot of your order. I don't care if you order $10 or $500. So what is my go-to move to put up and keep a baby to sleep? Listen, I just put on a Baitman stream and it puts my daughter to sleep like that because I bore her to death. Actually, it'd be the opposite. Neely loves the Baitman stream. When I get done, she wants to watch Baitman, but my daughter's pretty easy to get to sleep. My son, I just had to whip his ass to get him to bed. I'm like, listen, dude, if you don't get in bed, I'm busting out the belt. Usually that's all I need to say. It is hard to believe 5 jackhammers cost $80. All right, there's a good question. Well, do I vary my trailer depending on water depth or rate of retrieve? If I'm fishing deep ledge fish, I want a big bulky trailer because I'm trying to imitate like the big gizzards down there and stuff like that. I will tell you, the bigger, bulkier trailer you get, like this or a Swimbait out deep, you gotta let it sit. You gotta let it sink because it does slow the bait down. Hey Chris, if Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, and ain't nobody in here gonna get in trouble for using the Baitman code. You just save that for another day. Steve, I'm gonna go bow fishing hopefully next week. We'll see. I don't know what's going on. Maybe even this weekend, but we've got a cold front coming. And that's not good for bow fishing. As bad as it is for bass fishing, it ain't good for bow fishing either. God, I got so much junk. I got to get organized tomorrow. I'm just trying to get this dude. I love these sniper shads, man. Do you pump a swim jig versus straight retrieve? Me, personally, I pump it more than a straight retrieve. that's a good trick, Chris. The only thing I've got about a 5-to-1 out deep is sometimes they'll knock so much slack in it. I mean, these fish get really aggressive, and I've got to catch up to them. So that's why I like a 6-3, 6-4-to-1 for the most part. Dude, check these out. I've showed you guys these before. These are the itty bitty Scottsboro tackle swim baits. These are like a 2.5 inch or something like that. Yeah, these are nasty. And you can even put these right here. This is the 3-inch bass whacker shed. Check it. A really small Finesse swim jig trailer right there. Going Saturday during a cold front. What's the best attack for a cold front? Good question, Chris. Anytime I'm faced with a cold front, I'm going to slow down. A lot of your bass aren't going to. You're either going to go for a reaction bite. You're not going to get as many bites, but it'd be a good one. Or you can slow down. This is kind of the spawn time. It's going to freeze a lot of those fish. Dude, I'm going to tell you, game hog, 1/4 ounce tungsten sinker, and fish it around any cover that you can see, and fish it slow. Chatterbait's a pretty good cold front bait. And then I would find me a jerkbait. It may be May, but those fish will still eat a jerkbait. What would I use to fish those big walkout docks to the boats on reservoirs? I can't catch anything of them. Drop shot is really good around the corners and stuff, but the key to those big walkout boat docks is later in the afternoon. You want the sun to have been on them, and those fish start using the shade. I don't do very good on them during the day until it's later in the day where they need the shade. And you need to find out who's putting daggum brush out. Because if ain't nobody putting no brush out by them, they ain't no good. And some boat docks have those metal bars on there. Those metal bars are key. Holy smokes, I got a lot of stuff I got to clean up. I've got little niblets of bait heads everywhere. Alright, now let's get the good stuff. Now that I've covered my little topic I want to talk about, we'll just raise hell on here. Whitewell fishing, I appreciate it, man. Thanks. So, 3.5 STC ball head will catch them. Nothing else will. I love that ball head and the ST swimmer. Matt Allen Swimbait head's really, really good, man. So his stuff and the 6 cents, they're kind of my favorite keeper ones. Other than the tactical bass, and do I know anyone who throws braid to leader for almost everything? No, actually I don't. I've tried it. I actually like it, but I really suck at tying a leader knot, as you guys have seen. So, all right, Scottsboro finally shipped me today 5 inches, 6 inch. Are they better shallow, deep, fast, or slow? Slow roll it, and they're really good out deep, and they're really good up shallow. Beast hook, if you're less than 8 foot, get your owner beast hook on those. And if you're going to fish them deeper than that, I would at least run a 1/2 ounce hook. Now that tackle talk is over, what do we talk about? Googans, Darren, or Travis rollerblades? Who's Travis rollerblades? All right. Good question, Brittany. Do I prefer a glass rod over carbon for chatterbaits? I've actually not used glass rod for a while. I've kind of been on the graphite train. I've heard guys really like glass around grass. When they rip that bait, it seems like it's very forgiving, and that bait just kind of hovers there for just a second. Personally, I'm not Brett Height. I suck at fishing, but I like graphite for the most part. It's a lot more sensitive and more backbone. Strike King Caffeine Shad is a nasty one, and so is the Strike King a blade minnow, which I don't have, and I wish that. Aaron, I did not get in trouble for showing the wake bait. Oh, Travis. Yeah, I like Travis's rollerblades. Just so you know, Travis, if you're watching the stream, at one point in time, I was the Benton Skating Ring champion in 1998, the same year as the Vols won the national title. I literally have a trophy that's 6 foot tall. I was really a good roller skater. 6 gills, good to throw in the trash. Wow. I do not have any Guggen baits to throw on 6 gill rods, so I wasn't lying. Sold all my Corrado DCs and bought 6 Daiwa Tatula SVs. Dude, I love the SV. I need to find a good deal on them. I guess Daiwa's not going to ship me anything, so you know, if I'm paying my own money, I'm going to fish what I like. Benton, Kentucky, Martin. I've been to Benton, Illinois, though, and Benton, Tennessee. But Benton, Kentucky skating rink, 1998. I was the T. Martin of the skating rink. That's right. Let's see. So, yeah, Travis Manson, I'm calling you out. Let's have a skate off. Not only was I good at dancing, I was the fastest guy as well. Eric's a good dude. So the skating rink's closed, man. I'll be honest, man. I got tired of macking on the skanks at the skating rink, and I just decided to go fishing. I got my first kiss at the skating rink. I think she's got like 6 kids now, so I think I turned out good on that. Yes, my skates had a break in the front, and I had jump bars on them. Yeah, so mine were low top, man. They look like Jordans with wheels on it. Yeah, I dodged a big bullet, hella bass. I'm glad I decided to start fishing more. I watched one of them, Dave. My little girl was like going crazy, talking, and I couldn't watch the whole thing. So yeah, I got into bow fishing really hard. Check this out. Check this out. Let's see if Lunkers TV's dumbass has one of these. Look at that. 2010 World Championship. Read it again. World Championship. Kentucky Barkley Lake, 2nd place. It is the first loser, but it was the World Championship. Bowfishing Association of America. Big 20. I shot 20 damn janks. Or my team did. I shot with the guys from AMS Bowfishing, 2nd place. Only bowfishing tournament I've ever been. So yeah, I'll flex on you, Lunkers. Anybody can shoot them in a day. I wish I was the A-Mart of bowfishing. I'll be honest, man. If bowfishing paid what bass fishing did, I'd probably quit. There would be no more bait channel. I will tell you how much I won in that. Somebody guess. The Babe, I'm hoping, I don't know. We'll see if it gets there this week. All I know is as soon as they come available, they're going to sell out like crazy. So I shot a 72-pound big head carp on Kentucky Lake in 2010. That's the biggest one I've ever killed. I've shot several 30 to 40-pound buffalo, but that big head was giant. 2nd place paid $300. $300. Can you imagine getting 2nd place in the Bassmaster Classic and getting like $200? What's up, Tony? You sycamore, you're right. I can't catch them with a lure, so I just shoot the hell out of them. But at least they're trash fish. I've never shot a bass, but I have drawn back on one on accident. I've lost a couple arrows shooting in stumps because I thought it. Yeah, Chris Brackett, what an idiot. So I'm going to tell you this. Secret guys, you don't you don't screw with your cameraman. Chris Brackett really pissed his cameraman off, and he had all this footage of him illegally harvesting deer. Yeah, he's done. There's used to be a guy, Fool's Migrator Calls, slept with his cameraman's wife. Oh yeah, guess what? He turned in footage to the feds of him shooting like 200 ducks over the limit. Never messed with the cameraman guy. Dude, so long story short, where he got in trouble hunting, One of my good buddies, it was like his best friend's place. Like, my buddy messaged me like, hey, you need to watch the news today. I'm like, about what? He's like, yeah, Chris Brackett's in big shit. And I'm like, okay. And guess what happened? Kentucky Lake, Matt Ellis. I'm going to say the spawn is almost done. You may have some late spawners now. But I think they're going to be on them ledges, boy. Used to hunt with Jeff Fulls. Dude, he made good duck calls. I'm going to be honest with you. People mess up, man. People make mistakes, but you don't make a mistake of poaching a deer, man. I'm sorry. Like, I can forgive people. Listen, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. But I don't poach, man. And you know that the feds have more. Game warden's got a lot of power. He can walk in here and ask to see my refrigerator anytime. Chris Brackett was a goober, man. And I'm partial because I met him one time and his first words were, "I'm Chris Brackett. Do you know who I am?" And I said no. And he got really pissed off. I tell you where I used to go film some hunting, Dustin Taylor, was White County and Gallatin County, Illinois. There's some freaking giant deer. So I'm going to try to do some deer hunting on this channel this fall. Let's talk some baits, guys. Let's get some baits on here. See if we can get some more people in here. My hair's falling out. Looks good. Dude, how nasty. The Hog Farmer War Pig on that Contact 4.8. Now, I want guys to know an underspin is more than just a springtime fall bait. These big heavy underspins are really good in deep water in the summertime. Just a lot better. It's a different presentation than the standard swim bait, and you get a little flash. If you've got, oh my gosh, look at the flash on this blade. Can y'all see that? God dang. I twitched out. Don't show this around the elderly. All that flash. Holy smokes. Suspended bass. Great over the, but it's really good out deep. But that's the War Pig, and I love how that head's designed where that Kitech butts up to it real nice and easy. Yeah, dude, keep that away from Grandma. You might get a seize. Dude, I don't know what swivel that is. I'm going to say he uses Worth or Sampo. But that dude is rocking. Scott's my boy. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give him plenty of shameless plugs on here. I hope to go to Mexico and fish with him. So, thoughts on Beast Coast swim baits. So, where's my... I've got some Miyagi's here somewhere. Alright, here we go. So here's the Beast Coast Miyagi swimmer. And I really like this bait. By the way, speaking of chatterbaits, dude, those guys from Beast Coast take a big old green pumpkin chatterbait and put this Miyagi on the back and slay. Dude, I love the Divine underspin. My pick for small underspin head is the Divine 3/8 ounce. If I got one here, Gabe. Let me show this off. So, someone asked the Beast Coast. This is the Miyagi. A really good swim bait. I've actually caught some fish on it. I'm out of the color I use. I need to order some more. They've got the new HD colors on their website. Really good people, man. This color is Dope gill. And great on a chatterbait, man. Guys smash on this thing. But it swims really good on a 6/0 on a beast hook by itself. And then, of course, I'm going to have to tape this son of a bitch back up. This is the Creep, which is very similar to the Babe swim bait. A lot thinner, though. This is HD natural blue shad. Man, this thing is nasty. But it's cool. It's got this little hook pocket back here. So it was designed for beast hook. And you put the beast hook in right here. This is real good. It is very bulky for a chatterbait. But, man, it catches some big fish. I think Tyler's Real Fishing has used this quite a bit. He's a really good guy, by the way. Shady Banks, no line throughs, but I'm pretty sure the Beast Coast guys are going to be on Smallmouth Crush tomorrow night, so join in and check them out. Maybe one of these days I'll be cool enough for Travis to have me on. But yeah, Beast Coast, man, they make some good stuff, man. They're really nice guys, and I appreciate them sending me some baits every now and then, you know, just to test out and play with. My only issue is once you open this pack and try to hang it up, they just don't hang up very well. So I have to tape them up. Which, you know, if I fish more. Alright, Kyle sent me a photo. Let me find my phone. Let's see what Kyle's sending over here. That Miyagi's only 5-inch big red bass. Now this thing, it's actually 4.75. It's really not that big. Tokyo rig, I think it's a lot of hype. To be honest with you, that's just me. I'm old school. Yeah, I've seen the Mark Rose ledge spoon. I'm going to give you a hot tip. Buy the War Eagle spoons. They're just as good. I'm trying to get organized so I don't have to vacuum my bait room 4 times. Alright, let's see here. Somebody sent me a message. Alright, got some DMs. Somebody has slid in my DMs. No, not today, Isis. White Whale Fishing, I want to give you a shout out today. For that 6-cents premium Super 6 sack. I appreciate it, my friend. Kyle Millette. Oh gosh, look at this. So Kyle in the chat sends me some juice on Instagram. Check out that underspin, guys. A little double action right there. Bobby, my growth was stunted about 20 years ago. Steve Hardy, yes. I have had tungsten weights cut my line and break off. That's why when I use tungsten, I look at the inside to make sure it's nice and clean, whatever brand I buy. I appreciate it, Carl. I'm kind of like this. On the Tokyo rig, I just assumed a power shot. Instead of go spend $6 on a whole new rig, I can use the line and what I've got to make a power shot, which is just short later. The Mark Rose ledge rods are sweet. Hey, let's see if, speaking of, let's see if we can add a video to here. Y'all want to watch a video? Let's see. Let's see if this will work here. See if this audio play. Here's Matt Robertson on fishing. Let's see if I can get this up here. Check out on here. Uh-oh. It didn't even... Oh, look at that action on that Shadowlicious. It's freezing up just a little bit. But that's a Mark Rose ledge rod he's using. And it is nasty for swim bait. 7.6, medium heavy, moderate fast, loose, Super Duty 300. I had to do this for Strike King. Hopefully you'll be seeing this later. Matt's a working guy. He doesn't have the cleanest hands ever, but we're okay with that. I don't even know if the audio is playing. 20-pound fluorocarbon. And he's got that owner beast hook on a Shadalicious, man. Shadalicious, definitely underrated. It catches a ton of bass. So that's a little video I did with on fishing for Luz and Strike King. Probably be seeing that on social media soon. I think I just might have froze my dadgum stream up. Onum is a good dude. See how many people we got in tonight. We may not be hitting 1,000 tonight. I don't know. Damn, I lost a lot of viewers. Only 154 watching tonight. A lot of people going though. We got Stray Cast is live, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know what happened last night. It just like froze out, like it just stopped, and I was already kind of peeking there, so I didn't want to go crazy. But make sure you smash the like button for me. What else do you guys want to talk about? We've been going for like, yes, I am going to shave. Like, my wife was going to do it tonight. I'm not sure, Sean. I'm not sure at all. Man, I can't sit here and just ramble all night. I wish I had more chatterbait stuff to talk about. So here you go. Thoughts on the Slither rig. Let me grab one, Austin Hicks. So this is a Strike King Slither rig. And it's basically what it is. It's a punch setup. My neighbor didn't poop in my yard today. So, Strike King, the Slither rig, it's basically a punch skirt and weight, pre-packaged. And you see there's where your line comes out. Matter of fact, I'll just, let's see if I can tie it with some braid here. Let's see if I can find me a hook. Oh my goodness, tonight is working out good. I've done found me a hook. And all you need is a bait on the bottom of it. Let's see. Yeah, this will work. We're going to put the old 6 cents stroker crawl on this thing. God, this could be a nasty, nasty combination right here. I love that stroker crawl. That color's bluegrass magic. Dude, look how good this thing is. Holy smokes. So what you'll do on a slither rig, and this is heavy. This is kind of a grass fishing deal. I know I've seen the Googans fishing this thing, shallow water, catch them. You can do it. You're basically making a free hook jig is what you're doing. If I can get this through there. Obviously I can't. Let's try the other way. Dude, I like the shock blade. It's great out deep, not so much shallow. If I'm fishing less than 10 foot, it's jackhammer all the way. Yeah, they got a 2.8 Divine. Well, there's the 3.2 Divine Swimbait. I don't know if it'll really get that much smaller. Alright, so you get your line, slither rig. And this thing is free. And then I'm going to tie my hook on here. I'm just going to use a San Diego jam knot. And one tip I'll tell you on that San Diego jam, it helps a whole lot if you put some weight. So I'll just like hook my bait like that. So I've got a little weight, that pulls that down. So here's my knot I tie all the time. Go above my thumb, then I'll wrap 5, 6, 7. With braid, you can go back through the eye a second time. I go through the bottom hole, use my teeth, and then I go through the top, and then wet that guy. And that's a nice knot. Now, if I had a lighter, I would burn the end on that so it didn't slip, but I don't have a lighter because I don't smoke crack. And then I will just cut that. And now that I've got my hook right there on the bait, all I have to do is just push it back through. This hook might be a little big for the stroker craw. Oh, that's perfect. So I got my stroker craw on there. Let's see how this looks. Check that out. Now that is pretty nasty right there. So that right there is going to go through a lot of cover. Great for punching mats. It's just a different look. So what happens, the fish bites this. This can move up and down. Some people actually will peg this, and that's okay. But dude, that right there, that's nasty. I do tie this double San Diego jam usually if I do braid like I just did, but I just didn't do it then. But that is, I tie that knot 99% of the time on everything. I don't really smoke crack. I was just joking. Yeah, I would love to see 6 cents make a punch rig or punch skirts, but yeah. So yeah, that's what the slither rig's for, man. I've seen guys like buy them and like, where's the hook? So you basically use your own hook on that. I don't know. It depends on how much help Edwin's got. I don't know. Edwin's an amazing fisherman. So, what bait do I like to cast at water skiers when they get too close? Usually a 10XD, man. I'm going to tell you guys this. I don't throw shit at other people because I'm not going to get in trouble. And that is assault, brother. Even though they may be in your area, you don't want to get in trouble for throwing stuff at people. I see guys on the internet say, by God, if this freaking redneck comes by me, I'm going to shoot his ass. Yeah, go do that and see how that holds up in court. You're just better as well just keep your mouth shut and keep fishing. I have done a muddy water bait show before, James. I'm kind of running out of ideas. So I'm kind of glad I won't be streaming every night because it's kind of getting redundant. Does blade color really matter on a chatterbait? Great question. Personally, I like a matte finish, a black type, or gold. I've never really done any good on silver or any of that stuff. So, man, I was going to try to get Debo's on tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. I have had a confrontation with an angler. I threatened to whip about a 75-year-old man's ass, and I totally apologize for that. I don't really use a lot of inline buzzbaits, Sean. That's a good question. For me, I'm pretty traditional in that. So I've reached out to a few people on electronics. It's going to be really hard to do electronic show without a graph here. Jake Lawrence did a really good one using screenshots. But we'll see. Night fishing show will be good. We got to get there. But the problem about night fishing show, Team Cook, is it's pretty much going to be me talking about spinnerbaits because that's about all I throw. I've never done a night fishing show. All right, what do I think about Tight Lines UV plastics? They basically make a pack a craw, and they use the Yo Mama bait from Yum, and then they thread um, skirt material in it and call it innovative. So that's up to you. Favorite trailer throwing the hybrid swim jig? Right now, it's the Divine 4.4. I really like it. 570 bass. And matter of fact, I'll show it to you. I showed it earlier, so if you're just joining, where did I put that son of a bitch at? Okay. Now I can't find my daggum. Oh, yeah. The hybrid swim jig. My favorite right now is that one right there. That is freaking nasty. When do you go swim jig versus swim jig on a regular head, no screw? Oh, that's a really good question. Usually when I'm fishing really deep water, 10 foot or deeper, I'm going to go with a swim bait. Really heavy color up shallow, I like a swim jig. Sometimes a swim bait tends to snag on limbs and stuff. Shad spawn, that would be a good one. Maybe we can do that tomorrow night. Because I'm going to try to stream tomorrow night, but Smallmouth Crush is going on tomorrow night, and I really don't want to do that. How to add items to Super Six Sack? Well, the Super Six Sack's kind of it's pre-made. So what I would do is add my other stuff to the cart, then add my Super Six stuff. So. Dude, Bill Schroeder will come in here, man. Little Bill is asked to be on a jig show. I got to get Little Bill in here. He's a great dude, man. I could watch you shoot nasty carp on that. I love shooting carp. Big swim bait live stream. Already done that one, Sean. I can do it again, though. Brittany, great question. How much of the JDM stuff is legit, and what do you think is hype? So, if you didn't listen to the podcast I did with Ben over at Hook Up Tackle, Lake Biwa, where a lot of this stuff is developed, has so much fishing pressure that some of this crazy stuff is simply designed because it's different than everybody else's, whether it maybe works or not. Or to us. But over there, they've gotten to throwing really itty bitty baits that have like no action on it. So, but I think a lot of JDM stuff, I'm not going to say it's hype, but because we don't have it over here, people get hype for it. There is a lot of stuff here that works really good. Whoa, questions are flying. What's up, Lone Outdoorsman? Get some Kentucky sticks on. How about Brandon Hunter? I've asked Brandon. He said he would, but I don't know. I'd like to see Brandon on here. We've done one a long time ago. Brandon's really busy. He's got 2 kids, stuff like that. Baitman box is not out. The new one's not. So I have had some split rings straighten out. I like the owner split rings the best. Dude, the Matt Allen Swim Bait Show, that's the best one. I can't top that, to be honest with you. We don't have any alligator gar. Let's see. I do have a little bit of V&M. I like the really big worm quite a bit. Yeah, I got 2 kids. So does Brandon. He actually just lives like 4 miles from me. But he's always quite busy, and I don't want to bug him. And I like Brandon. He's a good dude, man. Great guy. What's my favorite trailer for spinnerbait? And is that a different presentation than chatterbait? Yes. So spinnerbait is more of a visual presentation, where the chatterbait is more of a vibration deal. I don't think fish are eating chatterbaits because they're seeing it and tracking it down. I think they feel that vibration and they react to it. Whereas a spinnerbait, they see the flash. It's a ball of shad, and then they react to it. I think a spinnerbait has its downfall in grass. It hangs up quite a bit, whereas a chatterbait, you can get it through the grass and rip it really easy. Now, once you get out deep and those fish really school up on shad, I think a spinnerbait outfishes a chatterbait quite a bit. Dan, I haven't talked about wobbleheads. Okay, great question, Gabe. Place to buy my ringworm. You can Google them, but Lucky Strike's website does have them. I forgot the name of their stuff. The Lucky Strike ringworms. Netbait's pouring them for them. I think it's. I can Google them real quick. I gotta find this because I've had them. I'm gonna get you a link to get them ringworms. Or not. Oh shit, they not make it anymore? What's going on? I think I can find it here. Here it is. Dude, they're cheap. $2.99 a pack on the original ringers. Here's the link if you're wanting it. It's going to be in the chat. Coming right now. That right there, that link right there, TrueNorthOutfitters.com. That's where you can buy the 9-inch original ringer. It's a freaking nasty one of my favorite of all time. So, Night Spinnerbait trailer. I like a pack of chunk, black and blue. That's kind of my favorite. I don't throw a chatterbait a whole lot at night. I tend to get a lot of short strikes on it. Huh. I have not read if anybody caught a muskie at Kentucky Lake. That's interesting. Great question, Chad. So on your hollow body frogs, do you lift up the hooks and flare them out for better hookups? Yes, I actually do. That's something Zach Burge told me, was pull them up just a little bit and spread them apart. You'll get a lot better hookups. Strike King's stuff works really good. Favorite 6-cent square bill, Ken? It has to be the 100X in jank juice. If I can find it, I know I got one over here somewhere. Right at the 50X. I'm a little organized. Where's all my organization has gotten terrible. This one's hard to beat too. That's the 75X in jank juice. I'm not sure if that's my favorite. I love the 100X though. So I talked to Tacklecraft. Tacklecraft is going to make us some Baitman special P70s. So here's the deal. It'll be a color that he's only going to make one time. It'll be exclusive for the Baitman viewers. I'm not going to make money off of it. I'll let Tacklecraft make some money. I can give you all something awesome. No problem, B. Davis. I appreciate it. Have a safe evening at work. So, let's see. Baitman, you keep talking about things in my local store's discount area. They're closed due to reasons. I'm going to lay a beating on the area after it's lifted. You know what? That ringworm does not sell for everyone, but I'm telling you, it's nasty in the brush piles. It is my favorite worm, period. I don't have any of the old Boy Duckett carrot sticks rods. I don't have anything Boy Duckett, to be honest. What's up, Chuck P? Snatch 70 is a really good bait. It's not one I throw a lot, but the guys that love that, they love the Snatch Steady. Big Red, I'm not steady booked. I'd love to be honest with you. My camera's getting a little old. I'm going to have to get a new one. But yeah, Ken, you can't go wrong with the 100X or the flat 75. Those are my two favorite square bills from 6 cents. Again, use my code Baitman. You get 10% off their website there. I've somehow lost my stream. There we go. Full moon tomorrow night, absolutely go fishing. I'm not going to stream much longer tonight, because I need to spend some time with the fam, and I don't want to like crazy this. It's weird on YouTube. One night I'll get 200-300 people, and then the next night 800, 1,000. I don't really care because I'm bored. So sorry about that, Gabe, but I don't even know if I'll stream tomorrow night. I'll think about it, but it's probably definitely. I've got some videos I'd like to upload and actually get done. I've got another Baitman Raw. I've got my bow fishing video, my triple Matt Robertson, and YouTube doesn't like it when you basically upload and then you stream and all that. So, dude, I'm watching this kid. Dude, check this out. So, Sub just sent me this video. Check out this little Baitman right here. Let's watch him catch this jank, and then we're going to bed. Oh, now you freeze up on me. What the heck? Let's see if he can catch this jank here. Why are you freezing up on me, phone? Let's watch this little hammer catch his fish. Look at that cast. Oh my gosh. Oh, we got him. I love the coaching. I love the coaching. Don't reel to the tip. Look at this jank. This kid has got it. Is he going to boat flip this thing? Dude. Attaboy. That's right. Look at that jank. I love it. I'm sending this thing to Bass Blaster, whoever sent this to me. He said, don't step on my bait. Wow. Dude, I love it. I like it when people send me stuff like that, man. I love taking fish stuff. UFC guys caught some janks on Chad Mendez Instagram. What's up, Sean Lai? I am fixing to call it a night, man, so I'm tired. I'm actually really hungry. I haven't ate all night, so I don't know if I should retire or keep going. Y'all let me know. But no problem. I'm fired up for some deep cranking, man, because I get more questions on deep cranking than anything. So I'm going to end the stream. I'll just make a thumbnail in the morning. I'm going to hang out with Baitman Jr., probably play some Call of Duty. Just want to bring y'all some content tonight. Y'all keep going. What am I going to keep going about? I'm going to have to see if my wife can make some meatloaf or something. Got people blowing me up on Instagram real quick. $300 watching now. Well, Mom, make me meatloaf. I need to go see what the wife is cooking over there. So, everyone wants me to keep. Y'all want me to get Baitman Jr. in here? We can get Baitman Jr. in here. Let's see, I'll go see what he's doing. See if he wants to come on the stream. coming. Oh, big girl. Oh. Say hi, Neely.
I like a bait show.
She liked the bait show?
Yeah. It's a lot of bait show.
A lot of bait show. So I went after
I was at the
Baitman Jr. and Neely said bait show.
Bait show.
Bait show?
Bait show.
Bait show.
What's a bait on a bait show?
Yeah, that's bait on bait show.
That's a bait show. What?
She calls all the baits bait shows.
That's all the bait shows.
Hey, can you give me a kiss? Thank you.
Like a bait show.
You like the bait show? What's your favorite bait, Neely?
It's my favorite bait.
What is your favorite bait?
My favorite bait.
What about this? What do you think about this big old worm?
Oh, it's a bigger worm.
Look how big it is.
It's a bigger worm.
You know what color that is?
What that?
It's called green pumpkin.
It's a bikini.
That's the color of your poops.
Look at there.
Oh, what you got there? You got a piece of worm?
It's a worm. It's like a game.
You're getting big. Look at your hair. This is crazy. Look at the camera. See how your crazy hair?
It's okay.
It's okay.
And what is turned on? And look at this wood.
You like the bait show?
Yeah.
You want to stay on here for a while?
Yeah.
All right, Neely's going to stay on the bait show with me for a little bit because Bubba. What's Bubba doing?
Bubby's going to get on here on the bait show.
Bubby's not on the bait show. No, he's not. Is he playing Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you look like me?
Yeah. This is just wet.
You want me to taste that?
No, don't take that.
Don't put that in your mouth. What's up, Chunky Cats? Maybe I should start a channel that's like Baitman's Bait Family.
They're a bait family.
Bait Family?
Yeah.
You want to be on a YouTube channel, Bait Family? No, they don't get along. She beats the crap out of Baitman Jr. Don't have. I said that. He's a big sissy. So DT16 is one of my favorite ledge cranks.
Your favorite ledge?
Huh?
It's like a spider.
Oh yeah, like a spider. Spiders are scary. So I've won more money on the DT16, but honestly, a 6XD as far as castability, durability, and catching fish is probably one of my.
Probably like the bait show.
Oh, you probably like the bait show?
It's a big bait show.
Hey, are you pretty?
Yeah.
You're pretty.
It's like a game. What?
You got your looks from Mama. But just like everything else, I keep a huge variety. I like this. I like the C15 and C20 from 6 cents. Those are really good baits. I actually get that C15 down to about 17, 18 foot pretty easily. But DT16s are nice, but they do tear up. I'm good with 2 kids. I would love to have 4 or 5, but my wife would. 2's good.
Good.
I like composite Sean for the most part. Deep cranks though, you just need a soft tip. Bait family would need capes and masks like the Incredible ass. So.
Yeah, it's like a camera.
Neely, you got a rod and reel set up?
Yeah.
What kind of rod you got?
Rod.
Is it a big one?
Yeah.
Big one? Is it nicer than Bubby's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a color.
Oh, what color is it?
It's colors.
Yeah.
Blue.
Dude, imagine if I had 4 boys and they all wanted to fish.
I want to fish.
You want to go fish?
Yeah.
How big a fish you want to catch? This big?
Yeah.
Or that big?
That big.
That big? Yeah, me too. That's right, Neely.
I want this game.
Yeah, that's a 6 cents divine worm. Can you say?
I want a more worm.
Yeah.
That's a worm.
So the problem about kids is after they get about 2 years older than her, they raise a lot of cane. I mean,
cane.
No.
Don't fart on me.
Don't fart on me, Daddy.
I just like a bait.
Yeah. So we're just in here streaming and people are watching you, Neely.
But we're watching.
You gonna tell them bye?
Bye.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
Yep, see ya.
Yeah.
Well, you can sit in my lap and we'll talk baits. How about that?
I love baits.
You love baits? Who doesn't love baits?
Do the what baits?
Huh?
Do the what baits?
Yeah. Nearly, there's 330 people watching you.
Yeah. I don't want the worms or one. I just don't want
Well, I think Neely, tell them how old you are.
I actually want it.
Say I'm 2.
I taste a cookie.
You taste a cookie.
This a facial.
That's funny, Sean. That's funny. I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm going to get a kayak, but I wouldn't demolish the KBF tournaments because, to be honest, most of those guys are really good fishermen. Yeah.
Okay, so I go right.
You ready to go in?
Yeah.
You ready to go in?
Yeah.
All right. Got to take her in. Be right back. Whoa. You want to take that bait with you?
Yeah.
All right. There goes my worm. All right. Get up on Daddy. Hold Daddy's shoulder. Oh.
It's scary.
Scary. Get you out of here. Well, that wasn't good. I'm going to clean that shit up. Alright, here's Neely. Oh, man. That sucks. Well, I don't know if y'all heard that giant crash, but that box of Chatterbaits, yeah, dunzo. So I'm going to have to reorganize that. I think that's what happens, Lunkers and Lures. I'm good. The Chatterbaits are good. Neely's good. But this room's getting small, and if you've actually seen my whole setup, it's redneck engineered, and it's not good for walking around and stuff. So I really need to shrink. I got this long yard sale-like table, and I need it about a quarter of the size, so I can just have my laptop or ring light microphone. That way I can walk around and do more stuff. So it's freaking cold outside. My nips are getting hard. Oh, I can hear. Yeah, dude, we can do square bills. I've done one before. I feel like when Eric gets on here, we have crazy amount of square billage. Yeah, it's basically an old school card table. It's freaking disaster, man. If y'all seen this room, I put some stuff back here. So I'll probably come out here tomorrow and I'll reorganize and get stuff right, and it takes me about 2 hours to do that. So going up in viewers. If we're going up in viewers, I guess it's time to roast the Guggen Squad, isn't it? Because that's what I like to do. Let's see, 9. Well, hell, we hadn't even been on here 2.5 hours. Okay, Vincent Gonzalez, great question. What hooks do I recommend for jerkbait? Personally, if I'm throwing mega bass, I don't change the hooks because mega bass are really sensitive to the hooks. If you'll let me put these stroking crawls up, I'll get some jerking baits out. I like to jerk it. Dude, see, this is what I like about 6 Cents. Look at all these baits. I love the clamshells. They go back in there nice. Bluegrass Magic. Dude, this thing is nasty. And this is no smoke up your ass pro staff. When they first come out with the stroker crawl, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. Like, there's double tail grubs out there. There's rage crawls. And I was like, man, I'm not sure. But dude, once I started using it, deal. I like this as good, if not better than the prawn. Prawn's a good bait, but the stroker craw is so freaking versatile. Wobblehead, you can Texas rig it by itself, on a jig, on a chatterbait, on a swim jig. Dude, Carolina rig it. I love the stroker craw. It's just so versatile. And that's, something I look for when companies make baits. And it kind of hurts you too, because if you make something super versatile, you don't want to just come out with like a craw, because then, well, if you got a craw, who's going to buy these? But dude, Philip over there, he knocked it out of the park. So let me get the jerking box if I can find it. Oh yeah, I always got my jerkers close by. I agree, James. I see some people use the clamshells and they don't even use the whole thing. All right, so here we go. Jerking box. I'm gonna get a couple out here. Let's see if I can get one that shows up good. Here's a great color. So we're talking about shad spawn right now. Jerkbait still works. And this is when I'm going to go to those shad color jerkbaits. I'm going to get away from my jank juice a little bit during the shad spawn. Oh, this one's old school too, so I gotta show you this. Let me get a 6 cent. Oh, this is the one. Oh, where's that other one? Alright, so you'll notice this is one of my favorite mega bass for this type of year. Vision 110. That color is Mega Bass Gizzard. Very, very shad-like. I love the green back. This is not the matte. This is the normal one. But you see it's got that good shad hue to it. But see, these hooks are really light wire on a mega bass. If you add some heavy hooks to this, it will go whoop. It will sink. So I really like to keep the mega bass hooks the same. This is the Vision 110. It's not the deep one. This is the normal model. I will fish this kind of fast. And so also audio. It's got a pretty good rattle in it. My top spinner, I think these are on the Vision. They are size, either the Mega Bass 3 or 4s. You can buy these hooks. Hookup Tackle has them in stock as well, and they also have feathered Mega Bass hooks. So, and then the other guy, 6 cents Provoke. This is nasty. I actually like the Provoke a little bit better for working fast. It's got a different pitch on the rattle to it. But man, for the money, these are like $9 or $10. The Provoke is nasty. Now that one's got a little bit of flash to it. Good on that bright sunny day. Good around the shad spawn. And then there's another color I like. I believe this is like Ghost Bone Minnow. Oh my god. I've caught janks on this one. This one's nasty. It imitates a shad about anywhere, but what I like, it's got that white belly, man. So when those fish from the bottom, they can feed up on this bait. But hook size on the 6 cents, I believe these are number 4s, and they're EWG style hooks. Whereas Mega Bass has got their own. It's not quite an EWG, and not quite a round bend. They call it a Cotsage hook. So I get this all the time. What compares the 6 cents is in my right hand, the Vision 110 on my left. 6 cents is 100% wider. If you notice the bill, different. And even on the belly, you can tell the 6 cents is a wider bait. The length, they're very similar. But you can tell how much wider and taller the Provoke is than the Vision 110. Very similar baits, but they got different action. The Provoke's got a little bit more roll to it. It's got some roll, go side. This has more darting action, where this has got a left to right and roll, and this has got that dart. Third of the price right here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There are days they will bite this Vision 110 and they won't sniff this. When it's super cold water, this is the deal. Once that water gets above like 55, I'm provoking it all the way. And you know what? Last year I went out, fished this bait. I only had 2 and freaking jammed on it. I was sold. I was sold. So many good colors, man. Of course, when that water's a little off, or I'm going after those brown ones, you know I'm going to have the old Jaint juice up there. Here's an underrated color, smallmouth guys. This color right here, this is called smallmouth rose. I see some guys paying big money for the Vision 110s in Morning Dawn. Dude, get you a little provoke in smallmouth rose. I love that color. I love it. But here's one I throw, and I lost some, and I bought this on Facebook for like $4. Hell of a deal right here. This is the old Excalibur Jerkbait. It's called the Excalibur EE4, and it's kind of built on the Smithwick Rogue model. Dude, this thing freaking slays. Doesn't have as much rattle. It's got a lot of rattles, but it's more BBs, whereas the other ones you heard a little knocker in them. This is the old school color called Norman Flake, man. It's a white belly. On an overcast day, on clearish water, dude, this bait will catch them. And I like it around the shad spawn as well. That's one thing you'll notice about a lot of pro anglers. They throw these jerk baits, and I need another. I'm gonna have to get another Mafia box. But you know, if I get enough of one brand, I'll just stick them all in here. As you watch the pros fish, they fish a jerkbait up until like June, July. You know, it's just not a spring deal. It's a very good bait to locate fish. It gets fish that are usually tough to catch into biting. I'm going to put my slither rig back up. What size line do I recommend, a braid to leader or just straight fluoro? Oh, on jerkbaits, so I will say this. If you can do the braid to leader on a jerkbait, it gives the bait a little bit more action. I personally just use 10-pound fluorocarbon. You'll get a little bit better casting distance on the braid to fluoro. You could even do like 30-pound braid to like an 20-pound braid to 8-pound leader. But I personally just use 10-pound fluorocarbon. Yeah, start showing baits. The comments slow down. That's okay. Oh man. Alright, let me show you guys this real quick. Someone asked about V&M baits. I forgot I had these. So check these out. These are from V&M. This is not quite a mega bass. Super clear water. Dan, I'm going to go with something like that's pretty clear. I'll show you just a second. I'll get the jerking box back out. Gosh dang. Has anyone used this bait? Because it looks really cool. This is the V&M flash jig. And that's in a magic cross. So you got a little swim jig with this little harness up here that's got a blade. I like that. I do like their magic crawl, man. It looks good. It is almost blue. But it's got a little blade there. Surely, that would work. Kind of a combination of a swim jig. Now, the Mega Bass one, the blade is on a little titanium wire, and it runs back here. But this is a different one. Pro Staff Blue. I'll be honest, I'd like this jig without that. That's not a bad looking, you know, hybrid swim jig. V&M makes a good swim jig, by the way. It's got a freaking nasty hook in it. Profound Outdoors puts their blade on the back of the hook. I've seen that. That's Timmy Horton's multi-level marketing deal, isn't it? I'm just kidding, Timmy. Love you, buddy. I love the crankbaits. Where is it, Devon Swim Jig? I thought I had some. Alright, back to Clearwater Jerkbaits. Alright. Dan asked that question. If I'm in Clearwater, I'll tell you the colors I like. In a mega bass, dude, I smash them on this one. I think this is like HT Ito Tennessee Shad. So it's very translucent, but you got this blue and purple back for some crazy flash. Really, really like that. That's, you know, when Kentucky Lake gets really clear, that's a color I'll pull out quite a bit. Here's one that I know a lot of people don't have. Clearwater and it's overcast. I like, and it's been tied on. This is a GG smallmouth bass. Man, that gold, it gets them. I don't know why. It's just like a spinnerbait. Some days you want that gold flash, man. And that's a smallmouth bass coloration. And guess what I catch on here? Smallmouth. Yeah, white belly on it too. So Pro Blue's a good one. In the 6th Sense, if I'm going Clearwater, I'm gonna go something like. I got more 6th Sense too. I think this color is called Wabi Sabi or something like that. It's very similar to a Pro Blue. God dang. I hate it when these freaking hooks get hung in like that. Yep, I know. I need some owner hook bonnets. Here we go. Look at that guy. That's almost like a Pro Blue with some scales. That guy right there, that's a nasty Clearwater color. Dude, I love the root beer. Yeah, guys, smash the like button for me. You don't have to. I don't care. And then, I think that color is Wabi Sabi, but it's like the old Lucky Craft color that everyone liked. The Lucky Craft Pro Blue, but it's got a chartreuse belly. Like that one. You know what? I'll be honest. Someone asked about the round bends. I wish they put round bends on a provoke. It may be the only jerkbait that I don't throw round bends on, and I catch them really good. Because I put EWGs on jerkbaits before and didn't like them. Dude, this thing right here is a nasty Song Beach. This is a slender pointer 127, and they freaking eat this guy. Shad spawn bait, absolutely. If you look back at the Skeet Reese fishing on Kentucky Lake when Wesley Strader, he was throwing this big slender pointer with gravel bars on the shad spawner, really catching them. Hit the like button or duck it will leave a horse head on your bed. That's hilarious. I wish Boyd wasn't a Vol fan. Baitman Jr., I'm not going to lie, guys. When he gets on here, when he decides to come back this week or whenever, you got to let him know that he high-hatted you guys. How do we get to jerkbaits? Somebody asked about jerking, so we went to jerking, Tom. Shadow Rap's a really good bait. So I don't even feel like that's much of a collection. Some dudes, dude, I'm telling you, they got more jerkbaits than I don't know what to do with. And I'm not a great jerkbait fisherman, so that's why I got good with a flat side crankbait. I have some new flash pointers, but they sink out of the box. Dude, the old flash pointers were really good. You know, look at here. I got more freaking jerk baits now. I got me plenty of the jank juice. Got me plenty of jank juice. This is a sick color right here. Well, I don't know why we're talking. We're just talking. We're rambling. We're talking about 6 cents. Check this color. Dan, that's how I used to have way too many jerk baits, but when you build confidence in it, oh my gosh. Oh, this is Shad Pro, aka freaking nasty. Yeah, so this is kind of a color I'd love to use right now in that shad spawn. A lot of flash, very natural. I like them suspending, but there's nothing wrong with the floating jerkbait, especially as it warms up. All right, Sean Myers, Hopper Jerk 70. It's more of a saltwater bait, to be honest with you. Let me grab it wherever. I gotta find mine. See if that Hopper Jerk's in here somewhere. I had one. I don't know what I've done with it though. Thought I had one in this box. Maybe I don't. Where is that Hopper Jerk 70? Where did I put that thing? It's not going to be in that box. Huh. Maybe. Oh, here it is. So I've got it in my top order box. Alright, here we go. So this is the Hopper Jerk 70 from 6 cents. It started out as a saltwater bait. Basically, it kind of goes back and forth under the water like a spook. It was kind of a redfish bait, a snook bait. But I think it'll find its place in the freshwater. It's got a real loud rattle to it. I've not thrown it. I imagine this would be nasty on schooling fish. And, dude, actually for white bass fishing here, it'd be nasty. Probably not going to take the place. You know, I'm not going to pick this up over some other topwater or subsurface baits, but it's kind of like a Rapala subwalk. I like the concept. I love that color. You know, that's that basically that Table Rock Pro. Can't see it really good here. Let's see if we can see that. Oh yeah, got a little pink for the stink. Got some, but this has got saltwater hooks on it. And that's the Hopper Jerk. Definitely a saltwater deal. I think you definitely catch them on freshwater too. Maybe over the top of some grass or something like that. 1960 Allwell Rough. Michael Webb. Shout out to that is my wife's stepdad, Michael Webb, G Daddy, in the chat. So G Daddy has got some boats for sale. So shout out to him. $2,700 for Allwell. Michael, text Brittany some pictures of that, and I bet you I can get a bow fisherman to buy that. That's pretty cool when the fam's on watching the Baitman show. What's up, Alan? No, that wasn't Spanish Bone Deep River. That was Table Rock Pro. So, Michael, you missed. Hopefully, you didn't miss Bait Girl, Bait Junior. He's standing us up tonight. So, Shadow Wrap, Lunkers and Lure is great. We are all fam here. Yes, we are. If that's a 1960 all-weld, it's probably 19 foot long and 60 inches wide. That's actually a good deal. I know that's probably hull. If that's hull only, that's still a great deal. My top spinner of the internet just went out. That's all. I'm starving. I'm going to text my wife and see what kind of food she can make me. Awkward silence. Trying to get that meatloaf going, that's right. Meatloaf, 575 people. Wow. I'm going to tell Jeff Defew if I can't get 600 when I'm wearing this shirt, then he's going to have to redesign any. So, show me some rods and reels, Matt. All right, I'll show you Baitman Jr. setup right here, guys. Iconelli spinning rod and reel combo, $29.99. That is 10-pound trilene. This is Baitman Jr. setup. I don't even mess with this. He's got this thing dialed in. But this is actually becoming one of my favorite setups for a guy that doesn't own spinning rod and reels. Dude, this Daiwa Tatula Elite, the Cody Meyer rod, drop shot rod. Dude, I throw Neds on it, drop shot obviously, light Nico rigs. Stinks nasty. Now, I'm not going to hop a tube or throw shaky heads or anything like that. But I love this rod. And this Tatula 2500. I love this rod. I mean, it's good. Very balanced setup right here. It's actually really good for throwing small, 3/16 to 1/4 ounce ball head jigs on, or like swim baits, because the rod loads really good. But this isn't. I mean, this is a $150 reel, $160 rod. It's about a $350 setup. You can probably call my buddy Brian Spanky Lambert over at the Tackle Trap, and you could get this probably under $300 shipped to you. Very light, man. It's one of the lightest rod and reel setups I've got. This is a nice one, and they're not paying me to say that. I mean, but this is a 7-foot medium light. It's rated 1/8 to 3/8 ounce. I wouldn't throw anything over 3/8 on it. But man, for small Neds, light drop shots, and the Nico rig, dude, it's freaking nasty. Thoughts on the Guggen squad? Golly, we got to get into the Guggens, don't we? I'm going to get this other rod out here. This is one I don't think I've ever shown you guys. This is a Douglas X Matrix Swimbait rod. So you can see it's got this big long foam handle, but it's not super long. It tucks in under my shoulder really well. Also works good for a 10XD. But it is a 784, 7'8" fast action. 12 to 20 pound line and rated up to 2.5 ounces. But dude, this thing is nasty. It's got the really nice Fuji Alkanite guides on it. Very light rod. This was designed to throw trash fish and osprey, stuff like that on. Now it's a $300-something rod, but it makes it's a pretty decent deep cranking rod. Not designed for it, but it'll work. I love that rod right there. And shout out for Douglas for sending it to me. All right, Randall Thart, Honey Badger M-Light. That's it. Thart makes some good stuff. So that one was a 2500 John D, and a Shimano Noski for $99.99 is an amazing spinning reel. It's really good, man. I would say my top 3 spinning bills for the money: a Noski, that Daiwa, the Daiwa Tatula, the Fuego, and then the CI4 Stratic. That's the only 4 spinning reels you really need to look at buying. Period. The Stratic at $229 is, why would you even want anything more expensive than that? I mean, it does everything. So we'll get there. It's either clown the Googs or ask about stuff we saw in Tactical Bass. And I don't have nothing new, Dan. Nothing new. What's a trash fish? So Tony, a trash fish is a swim bait, and I'll grab one right here. Just destroying everything in the bait room tonight. Who was it that said to keep going? So this is the trash fish. I've actually got this one rigged up. This is the 6-inch little creeper trash fish. And I believe that's that 6 cents hook in there. And it fits it really, really good. That color is like tucked out shad. Super soft, very popular. It has a different action. It doesn't have a big thumping. It's got a roll and swimming action. It's called a little creeper because it is meant to fish really, really slow. The color I throw a lot. I do have some white ones. Do have some white trash fish. I don't throw them too much. My favorite color, and I've got this rednecked, this is the 8-inch trash fish. And yes, I chopped the head off a $20 swim bait. And I've got it on a 10-aught owner, or not 10-aught big hammer swim bait hook, and it is sharp. And what you'll do is I'll put a toothpick through here. I fish this really, really slow out deep, and when I catch them on it, it's a big one. Don't catch any small ones on this bait right here. Water temps 60 degrees and up. I know some guys that throw them in the winter. I don't. I typically from about right now to about end of June. And once it gets really hot, these fish here get off a swim bait a little bit. They start to suspend up. That color is, I believe that's called albino IU. It's a nasty, weird looking color, but they eat this sucker. That is a 5/0 6 cents belly weighted hook. And then here's the trash gill. I've showed, that's the trash gill. Right now, round bedding bass, that's nasty. That's an owner 6/0 in that. And you see the hook, it comes out the back. It's really folds and collapse over. Oh man, around bedding bass, can't handle that. One's a female gill and one's male gill. I can't remember. There's the male gill, I believe. Now, a lot of these are secondhand where the eyes have busted out of them. That's okay. They still eat them. Let's see if I can find that one that's... I got a fat one in here somewhere. I thought I did. I like this color, man. See how translucent that is? Those are nasty. Thought I had some sexy shit. I've got some big shad ones too for in the summer, but I thought I had. There's chartreuse shad. Oh yeah, that one's really, really good. But man, these things they're expensive. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like the Babe. It only takes a fish or two, and they're gone. I don't really bust these out too often unless it's tournament day. Look, I mean that one's got more of a clear belly on it. That's a hitch. These are freaking nasty. But see how that plastic's over there? This one came out of the mold a little rough. I'll take a. They don't come like this to your in the package. These are some Minnow sent me that were like this, and I'll just cut in that plastic, trim her up a little well, and you know I can buy eyes for these baits off the 6 Cents website if I want to, but that right there. That's kind of a California hitch. That works as a gizzard, Kentucky Lake, wherever. But you notice these don't have like a real huge, there's not really a shad profile. It's almost like a carp. You know what I mean? Yeah, Tactical Bassin, Matt and Tim, they do a really good one. And I'll be honest, that's a bait there. I was sworn to secrecy for a long time. And I would never have showed you guys that bait if Tactical Bassin didn't do that video 2 years ago. When that happened, it come out of the woodwork. Berkeley, it had the sick fish, which is good, but it was only that one size. And then when they come out with that video, people started calling and asking me about it. And I'm like, yeah, I've been throwing them for a while. And just didn't talk about it. Because there's a lot of elite guys and FLW Tour pros that throw that thing that are sponsored by other companies. So, Alan, the best answer to that question is what are you looking for if you're wanting the best rod and reel setup for a Texas rig? Are you looking for the best sensitivity, best durability, and what's your budget? I hate to sound like a car salesman over there in East Tennessee there at Knox Drives and try to buy you a car based on your budget. But let's be honest here. I'm a guy, I can't afford $600 rods and reels. But I want something that performs really well. For the money, all-around Texas rig rod, you got a Dobbin 734C Champion with a Shimano SLX. That's going to run you about $300. If you want super sensitive, the best bang for your buck, super sensitive, is a Poison Ardena rod. And then get you a Tatula SV and throw on it. I know it sounds crazy, put a SV on a Jackal rod, Or you could put just a Corrado K on there. But, dude, that poison Ardena is stupid sensitive for the money. Shady Banks, good question. How do I time my ledge fishing when they're generating and not generating? So I fish the juice spots when they're generating. The deal is, on that ledge fishing, the Tennessee River, they give you a report of when that stuff is, that current kicks up. Some days you wake up and they got current running all day and you just run around and try to fish the best stuff you can. But it takes a lot of practice. And the guys that are really good at ledge fishing, they don't just go fishing in the afternoon. They go fishing before work, and they figure out when they're doing that generation schedule. But you can use the TVA app to get a good guesstimation. And a lot of times we've been out there fishing, it's 11. You look at the marker buoys, the channel markers and stuff, you'll notice there's not any ripple behind them. And all of a sudden you drive by and you start seeing that current ripple behind those buoys. That's when I go fish the best stuff I can. The guys that are really good tournament fishermen, or maybe work at night, they can get out there in the day and they understand what the current's doing. But the problem about ledge fishing on weekends, the current's totally different. Slaunch sauce on Guggenbait. So I thought it was really crazy that the Guggens come out with slaunch sauce, and I never heard a damn one of them say the word slaunch in any of their videos. But you know who I did hear? I heard Ben Milliken say the word slaunch all the time. So I think that was kind of a throwing shade. I'm not going to use the slaunch sauce. That sounds like something I'd find at a back alley strip club. Kirby, dude, I do sleep. Great question. Zona has said slaunch a lot. I usually go to sleep about 1 o'clock, Kirby, and wake up about 8. My wife, I don't think she's going to cook me no food. I'm kind of getting upset. $5 to $6 is all a fine-tuned fishing machine needs. That's right. Knucklebait, thoughts. I'm not a fan. My thought, I'm not a fan either, James. We're on the same page there. Somebody thought, well, that sounds like a good idea. Third shift, Kirby. I usually work, I'm going back to work Sunday. Been on a quarantine, furlough, whatever. I usually work 8:30 p.m. to 7 in the morning. 10 hours a day. So that actually leaves me decent fishing time. You know what I mean? But it's going to be hard to go fish with Jake any Sunday through Thursdays because I usually work Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, and then overtime. So Dan, I don't know about tackle warehouse sales, but I can tell you back when I was running the website that I'm not going to mention before this, there was an amazing correlation. And but I don't want people to join my stream and feel like I'm trying to make them go buy baits. I just like to BS with people and stuff like that. Austin Hicks, Steve Kennedy's the best swim bait fisherman on the tour. Changed my mind. Sycamore, if I could go back to school, I would be a teacher, man. That's what I always wanted to do, and that's why I'm pressing Baitman Jr. to do good in school, because I don't want him to be like me, not have a full college degree and sell baits. I'm blessed to have a decent job now, but it's hard like that. Well, I will try to talk to Tackle Warehouse and see what we can get out of that. Dude, it is, man. I got a lot of respect for those guys that have worked nights for that long. I'd love to go to days, but Kirby, it's about the family, and it works out best for me and my wife. And daycare is really expensive, and they're now at the age where, if Brooks doesn't have to go to school, I don't have to worry about him if I sleep. But it's good for hunting and fishing. It's rough on the family, but You know, it's cool when my wife cuts hair just down the road, literally a mile. If something happens, she can be here really quick. So, yeah, I've been doing a little teaching. I'll be honest. The way kids learn these days is totally different. It's like they give them an iPad and say, go at it. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to teach that? They're like, give my kid a story to read. And then he's like, they're like, can you dissect this character? And I'm like, what? Like, ask him ask him what color the hat the bear is wearing. Like, one of the questions was describe so-and-so's feelings throughout the story and all this. I'm like, dude, those are like high school questions. You can't ask a first grader that, because he's like, oh, I like the bear, Fruit Loops. You know, their focus ain't that good. But who's the best ledge fisherman on each tour? Jason Lambert is pretty good. Steve Kennedy's a great ledge fisherman. So obviously Jason Lambert was on FLW, but now he fishes Major League Fishing. I'm not so sure he's the best, because there's some hammers. Steve Kennedy on bass, I would say, is the best offshore guy. I know I'm missing some people. I gotta think. Brett Height's an amazing offshore fisherman too. Major League Fishing, Mark Rose is great out on the ledges. Very underrated ledge fisherman is Justin Atkins. He can hold his own. Dude, kids in daycare is expensive. All right. Yeah, Lester's good. Out deep. Jason Christie with a Y is not. I think Lambert's really good with his electronics, but let's be honest here, this is not taking away anything from Lambert. The places he won the last tournament on Kentucky Lake were straight up community holes, and there's nothing wrong with being lucky. He just pulled some straight up pigs off some of those community holes where he got the 9-pounder. I literally fish it every time I go, offshore fishing. I never caught anything bigger than 6. So Jordan Lee's a good offshore fisherman. Scott Martin, I will agree to disagree, and I'm not going to go into why. Scott's a great fisherman though, but I'm not going to say he's the best offshore fisherman. He doesn't really fish that deep. He fishes a lot of stuff in the big sandy area that's quite shallow. He fishes offshore. The Guggen's good at ledge fishing. I don't know. I actually watched John B. fish at Lake Olmsted last night. It's actually a good video. If he didn't get no help on that, he did a pretty good job. It's a good question, Kirby, and that's something we really want to run by Jake. I think the bass are actually scattering out. They're still out there, but they're not getting in those big tight groups that they used to be. And I do feel they're going out a little bit deeper than a lot of guys here are more comfortable with. Drew, never crank before. How do I position my boat for it? Just like I would throwing anything else. I want my boat in deep water, throwing to shallow. I want to be throwing with the current, not against it. That is a huge... We'll talk about that Saturday night for sure. I'm going to try to make some illustrations, fish the moment. I don't want to steal his thunder, but I got some illustrations I'd like to make for that deep crank show. But Jason Christie is the best ledge fisherman on FLW Tour. I don't even know if Jason Christie is the best at anything on FLW Tour. All right, I'm just going to be really critical. Somebody asked me about Basket or not. Seems like a decent dude, but he freaking high-headed the hell out of me at the Knoxville show a few years ago. I ran into him at the Hooters, and he looked at me, and I said, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Baitman." He just looked at me and he goes, "Cool." I mean, he didn't know my name or anything, but he'd commented on a bunch of my videos, and I was like, yeah, what's up, man? I'm Baitman. Nice to meet you. Go Vols. And he's like, cool. Like, holy shit, who pissed in your Cheerios? And then I watched him put out the most ridiculous hair jig video I've ever seen in my life, and said, if people are listening to this crap, then I don't know what's going on. Whoever taught this guy to fish a hair jig. And anyways, other than that, I mean, I watch this stuff. It's not bad, but I was like, dude, this hair jig video is freaking... if you're catching them like that, more power to you. But yeah, it was at the Hooters. Scott at Hog Farmer bought my meal. So, but anyway, sure he's a decent guy. Must have caught him on a bad day. That's all I can say. Sean, that's crazy. There's a lot of guys that throw that bank fish up there, and it's pretty rough, Kyle. There's some decent things to take away from that, but I guess that's part of where I live, and in other places, the difference, you know. Hair jig is a finesse presentation to me and the old school guys. Even Kirby could tell you that he's fished with Jake Lawrence. We don't throw big, super heavy hair jigs. It's very finessey. Lynn Moss, the ledge fishing is fixing to get good. I'm going to say it'll be good this weekend. Yeah, I'd like to reach out to him, man. I think Johnny seems like a really cool dude. Fishes the Arkansas area. Very underrated part of the country for offshore fishing is the Arkansas area. They're brush pile guys, so. But I really think that the ledge fishing on Kentucky Lake, it's about to happen. Like, I think there's more fish that have spawned than haven't spawned. I may find out this weekend. I may go out there and play around. I know on Pickwick, it's like happening right now. Like, need to get out there. Yeah, he was. He was a great fisherman. I don't watch Bass Talk Live, man. To be honest with you. I have nothing against them, but I find it hard to watch streams that get less views than I do. But all right, no way out west, but we got some. Water is here in low 50s late this year. I don't know what our water temp is. I'm gonna say low 60s, but I remember. Let's see, that was in 2016. So 4 years ago in the Triton Owners Tournament, I caught fish out on ledges. It was this week, and we had some 59 to 61 degree water, and those fish bit really good. I thought there'd be a lot more fish shallow than there were, but we caught those fish really moving out just right. And that's the thing. It's not just ledge fishing, and I don't want people to think everything you fish is a straight drop off. Somebody down the road coined this term ledge fishing and fishing the drops, where a lot of the stuff we're actually fishing is just changes in the bottom. It's structure fishing is what I really like to call it, because they're not on every ledge, but what you're fishing is road beds, ditches, humps, stuff like that. But there are ledges. I remember Bass Zone a long time before it was Bass Talk. I like Mark Jeffries and Pangrak. They're good people. I just don't listen to a lot of other stuff. I'd love to get on Milliken's podcast. He was my first guest. I don't know if he's still doing it or not. I know he's really busy, so I guess I'm going to have to get Baitman Raw up on the iTunes. All right, somebody asked me a good question while ago. Thoughts on guys that change rod sponsors every season? Show me the money. That's all that is. Now, Steve Kennedy is OG. Steve Kennedy is going to use what Steve Kennedy likes. You know what's really crazy is you get in these swim bait forums, and these guys are like, oh, you've got to buy a Calcutta 400, and you've got to buy this F95 custom rod, and you've got to have this. Steve Kennedy, over 100 pounds of Clear Lake Jaints, throwing a 711 Kistler flipping rod and a Bantam Corrado 200. And you going to try to tell me you have to have all that crazy stuff to throw a HUD? No, ain't happening. I like Milliken's Tourney X. Do you think we should do a Jaints only tournament one Saturday? Just you get one bass, everyone throws $5 in the pot on Tourney X. Who can catch the biggest Jaint? Would y'all be down for that? Lunkers and lure fishing, it is a crankbait, 100%. If they pull some current, it's a lights out on a crankbait. Second, for me, it's going early in the season is going to be a swim bait. Anything moving. What's up, Levi Howard? Hope you're doing good, man. But all right, so y'all want to set up a Jaints tournament, Jaints only. It's not going to be bass boat. I'll do it like Ben. You can fish off the bank in a bass boat or a kayak. Minimum length, I'm going to set to 18 inches. I think that's a good Jaintometer. And we're just going to do $5 make you holler, entry fee, and winner takes all. How about that? One big fish, take the whole pot. Dude, I love 6XD. Up in Idaho, man. I talked about Idaho the other night. Very underrated place to fish. I got a buddy who lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he says there's some pretty good bass fishing there too. So Silas, I'm going to make a video on this. I think so many people get caught up in jerky jays and hair jigs and big chatterbaits. I mean, I throw that stuff and all this crazy stuff. If you're new to offshore fishing, you only need 5 rods and reels. You need a crankbait, you need a football jig, you need a Carolina rig, a big worm, and a drop shot. That'll get you covered right now. That's the 5 you need. You need a finesse presentation, drop shot so you can fish vertical, Carolina rig, really slow day, Texas rig worm, going to get a lot of bites, football jig, you can cover water, you can fish it fast, you catch big fish, and a crankbait. Crankbait, man, when they bite it, in the last few years it hasn't been great here. But that's my 5. You know, that's what I'm starting out with. That's a beginner's 5 baits on deck. Yeah, it's not midnight here. I'm fixing to go to bed here in a little bit. 659 people here. Smash the like button. We're giving out info. I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow night. I'm going to try to upload a video. So if I upload this video with Matt Robertson, it'll be about 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So make sure you guys watch it and share it for me and do all that good stuff you want to do. And then I'll come back to streaming. I need a little break. I'm getting burnt out. So I personally use tungsten for a Carolina rig. Lunkers and Lures Scrounger, like I said, that's in my rotation, but it's not my 5 you gotta have. If you're starting out, a Scrounger is a really hard bait to master. It really is. So Straight Cash, my buddy, he works for Hoyt Archery there at Salt Lake. Victor, I've heard Maine is like a very underrated bass fishing community. Austin Hicks, I appreciate you watching, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for me. If not, it's okay. I'll forgive you. Maybe I need a shirt that ain't as damn bright. I got lazy and just threw the cleanest thing I had on. I got to get up on that laundry folding game. But gonna try to get that video with Matt done. He's got some good stuff in there. So let's work on this. I'm gonna jump off here. We've been on almost 3 hours, so I'm gonna make me a thumbnail and all that stuff. Smash the like button, subscribe if you want to, and let's work on putting the Jaint Master. No, I don't want to. You see, I'm not like some guys. I don't want to copy anybody. We'll come up with a cool name for the Jaints only. That's it. It'll be. It's called the Jaints only Baitman tournament. So I'll make a video tour of the bait room. So anyway, gonna get off here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your morning. I won't see you guys live tomorrow night. I'm gonna try to get a video done. And then Friday, I got to post a Baitman Raw with Evan Barnes, and maybe record another one. So you guys have a good one. Thanks again for joining in. I'm just going to get on that thumbnail tomorrow or something. I'm tired. See y'all.